Here with Tim Kirkjian, Mark Teixeira, I'm Karl Ravech. The guy over our shoulder, Vlad Guerrero Jr., there are a million things about him that make him stand out. The first, of course, is his name, which for baseball fans, synonymous with his dad, who had a Hall of Fame career. Now, we're just starting with the youngster, but you got a chance to play with the dad. Do you see the similarities there?
Yeah, I think Junior's just a smaller version of Senior. Very similar swings. And listen, Vlad Sr. was the best bad ball hitter in the history of baseball. Swung at pitches above his head, swung at pitches in the dirt. So you wanted to look at Junior and say, is this guy going to have plate discipline? And the answer is yes. He's actually swinging at less balls than the major league average hitter. And that's a really good thing for a young player because these pitchers are the best in the world. He hasn't faced him before, but now he's getting in there and he's got a very good plate discipline.
All right, before we get to Tim, let's bring Jeff Passan in here. What do you think, Jeff, that Vlad Jr. will say he takes from his dad in a priority sense? Like, what's the one or two things that I took from my dad?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. takes from his dad the ability to hit the absolute snot out of the baseball. And back when Vlad Sr. was playing, Ravi, we didn't have StatCast measuring exit velocity. Now we do, and we know that Vlad Jr. hits the ball harder than just about anybody in baseball. And when Ronald Acuna was coming up with the Braves, they knew from the time he was in rookie ball that he was going to be a star because of the exit velocities. You don't hit the ball 110 miles per hour plus and not turn out to be a good player. Well, the Blue Jays understood from the time Vladimir Guerrero was 16 and they gave him $3+ million to sign that they had something really special here, and we've seen it manifest itself. It's why nobody was panicking when he had those struggles for the first week or so, and we've seen it in the home runs since then that the kid just absolutely smokes the ball when he barrels it.
Yeah, no doubt there's a uniqueness to both of them, but I am struck by the numbers in his first 11 games versus his last 8, where all of a sudden he appears to be more comfortable. All of this is natural. There's a lot of Cecil Fielder, Prince Fielder in this because of the way that they hit the ball. I mean, they elevate it and they hit it really hard.
And the way that they're built also. So I asked one of the Blue Jays this spring, and I think you two guys, really good golfers, can appreciate this. I said, tell me about Vlad Jr. And they said, you know, when you're on the driving range and you're really hitting it well, and then a pro comes along and you watch him and you go, oh my goodness, that's the way it's really supposed to be done. That's the club head speed. That's the distance. That's the sound. That's the height. That's what Vlad Jr. brings when he comes to the plate or the driving range, however you want to look at it.
You know, the game, because of these young players, Jeff just mentioned a few of them, we see several in Atlanta and different places, is in good shape. The question, Jeff, I'll ask you now is, given that he's on this team, Vlad Guerrero Jr., like what comes next? You know, who's going to join him to turn the Blue Jays into a competitor for the Bostons and the New Yorks and the Tampa Bays?
I think personally, Ravi, stardom comes next. And look, all the hype that Vladdy came up with, we're finally beginning to see it manifest itself. And I think by the end of the season, we're going to look at him as one of the 10 to 15 best hitters in baseball. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I mean, he's 20 years old. You know, he's still a puppy. He's a guy who's going to win batting titles. He's a guy who's going to win home run titles. And next to him are going to be a couple of other sons of former major leaguers. Bichette is going to be the Blue Jays shortstop of the future. Cavan Biggio looks like he's going to be their second baseman. Sons of Dante, Bichette, and Craig Biggio. And they've also got Nate Pearson, who may have the best raw stuff in the minor leagues. He's gotten a promotion. He's in high A right now. He's not going to be there for long. Pumps his fastball at 100 regularly. He is a top of the rotation type of guy. So this rebuild in Toronto, it's not going fast, but they're going to add pieces if they trade Marcus Stroman and Aaron Sanchez, and they could be there a couple of years down the road when Vladdy's really starting to hit his prime.
JP, thank you very much. I guess the other part of the Guerrero story that stands out, and you see it with him, but being around his dad like you were, and you've certainly covered him, is there is a magnetic kind of personality about them, whether it's their outgoing personality or just kind of watching them, you're like that's just different over there.
Yeah, and Vladdy was one of my favorite teammates because he always had a smile on his face.
Right.
You know, he's one of those guys that had a quiet confidence about him, and he played like a puppy. Like he just went out there and just had fun and was all over the field. And remember how great of a right fielder he was the first half of his career? I mean, Vlad Sr. was dynamic in all parts of the game, and Junior at third base is having fun.
So I saw his first at bat of spring training this year, and he gets fooled on a changeup. So he's way out in front. He's literally got the hand on only one hand on the bat, and he hits the ball. And I'm thinking, all right, it's a lazy fly to left field. And he hits it off the top of the fence there in Dunedin, like a rocket shot, like this. When he got to second, he just kind of smiled, like I got fooled on that, and I almost hit it out of the park. That's who Vlad Jr. is.
All the information was great, but my second favorite part of this entire segment was when you said, do you remember how good a right fielder he was? Did you see his face when you said that? Did you see the face you made? It was like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we saw.
Man, not too many guys went to his left into that corner and threw to second better than Vlad Guerrero.
Do you know the face you made, though?
I'm sure I do. I make that face a lot, and I heavy sigh a lot, too. Did you know that?
Yeah, they're going to be heavy sighing around Vlad Guerrero a lot, especially the opponents. That's Tim Kirkjian and Mark Teixeira. I'm Karl Ravech.